You're listening to the Unlocking Women in Leadership podcast, a conversation with yours truly, Slindile. Well, hey there, friend. It's your host, Slindile, South African author and coach who's passionate about serving and empowering women in business, women leaders, coaches, and service professionals unlock your true potential and win as a business professional. On the Unlocking Women in Leadership podcast, we celebrate your unique calling and commitment to transform your life. This podcast will help you grow in your business, sharpen your leadership intelligence, build your confidence, and align your soul and spirit to your dream goals. I hope you get inspired every week when I share and get ready to become the exceptional leader you were born to be. In today's episode, we're going to talk about faith and business. I want to help us embrace the multiple callings we've been given as women of faith in the business arena. Let me start by sharing my story. A lot of you may not know my true story, or if you've heard a little bit about my story, you get to hear this again. My first real job was working as a cashier in our family business, and then as a retail store manager when I was just 13 years old. I learned firsthand how critical it was to lead people, to understand financial systems, to build loyal customers, to negotiate with clients, to market, to sell products as a business owner. I watched too how challenging it was for our family to keep the business operational. And for this reason, I made it my goal to learn everything there is to know about business so I could help women entrepreneurs like you learn the business and leadership skills needed to lead in today's world. Along the journey, I studied business. I worked in strategic corporate leadership positions, as well as marketing and communication positions for a financial institution, for an international oil company, for government organizations, and various nonprofit organizations. Further along the journey, I challenged myself to write 2 books in 1 year, and subsequently in 2018, published 3 books within 2 years. As far as the spiritual is concerned, I started seeing when I was the age of 4 or 5, but only could articulate it when I was 6 or 7, and that's when I was having a lot of dreams. Both gifts have been in me for many, many years. For a while, I struggled with how to navigate my calling and run my business. I thought as a Christian that it was either one or the other, and I could never reconcile the two. Why? That's because, honestly, in the Bible, I couldn't find many examples in the New Testament of entrepreneurs or business owners. So I encouraged myself by going back to the Old Testament to draw from those entrepreneurs there. Abraham was rich, y'all. Isaac was rich. Joseph was rich. Solomon was so rich that people came from all over to see his wealth, and because of that, they said he was the wisest man to ever live. I believe we call ourselves experts way too early, in my opinion. When you're in the corporate world, you're given a position within the organization, and when you excel in it, they promote you until you outgrow your position. It's at that point you become the expert or go-to person within that organization. However, when you leave that environment, depending on the next position you apply for, you may be starting at the bottom due to the nature of the business or industry or a department, and have to build enough trust for people to believe in you as the expert or go-to individual. Please hear me. Your audience as an entrepreneur will vary from time to time, from season to season, but your purpose and calling will be refined until you're the go-to expert in your space. The thing about operating in gifts within the 4 walls of the church is that the audience sees God's hand move upon you freely as you help people get their breakthrough. That's the anointing, right? What people fail to understand is that outside those 4 walls of the church, God teaches you how to operate in the gift to embetter others and build yourself up financially. He teaches us something that as we serve, we access the one who is altogether rich, wealthy, and the founder of true success. Please hear me, incredible business owners. God wants us to share our knowledge, our know how, our expertise with the world to help others get the same breakthrough and have lots of money doing it. It's not a bad thing to desire to have lots of money, not at all. If you're called to impact the world, we're talking about the globe and serve multiple groups of people and transform culture to the degree that you desire in your heart, you need lots of money to do it. Keep that in mind. So, friend, let's not despise money just because we don't understand how it operates. Let's finally rid ourselves of scarcity and poverty mindsets when we make decisions in our businesses and about our target audience. If more people of faith consulted God in business as the board or chairperson or CEO of their business, so much would change. He literally has the answers to who your target audience should be, how much you should charge for your products or promotions you should launch. The blueprint is available in your spirit when you know how to access it from within. So I'm pretty certain a lot of you listening right now started your own business with God in mind, right? You reached out to God and said, God, if you bless me, if you give me one more chance in this business, I'll use it for your glory. Am I right? Then along the way, you did the work. Struggled to get it going first, but kept building and doing the work nonetheless. Here's the truth. Those early prayers or SOS messages to God in the Spirit were just to get you started. When you're running the business, God not only wants you to heal people in the business itself and impact their lives, He wants to bless you financially and bless them financially. He is a blessing God through transforming your business and their businesses. He is a wealth generating God. You see, I used to work at a church here in South Africa years ago, and one of my tasks was to get sponsorships from retail and business owners and manage the donations of those goods to poor communities. I had a hard time at that time reconciling how so much poverty existed when we serve a rich God. I would show up in those poor communities driving my fancy car and actually felt so ashamed to be flaunting my riches to those organizations. This led me to resent the rich church that I attended because I felt that they were not doing enough to help poor people. Of course, I had a poverty mindset at the time. It wasn't years later that scarcity literally fell off of me when I was reminded of the reason I went into business in the first place. I hadn't realized that in my faith journey, I had somehow adopted a belief while living in the United States that allowed the spirit of poverty to clothe itself around me by making me believe that lack and scarcity were part of my faith journey. That I had to have faith to see how God moved in everything. Of course, you need faith, but when that faith is a bondage or is locking you from reaching your dream, it's no longer faith. That's scarcity and that's lack. That's good for a while to walk by faith. But at the end of the day, faith still looks like work. If you want to be a business owner, you have to do the work. You have to do the work to get the results. You have to show up when you don't feel like it. If you want to be an author, you have to write your book. If you want to be a speaker, you have to put yourself in front of people to be an expert in that arena so you can serve others. They will eventually want to learn more from you in different ways. In fact, that's how some of your products will develop. When you have the solution people are looking for, they will continue to buy from you. What you want to avoid is being abused by a system that encourages people of faith to not value business owners because they believe you should be giving them products for free or you should be giving free advice. Run from those people. You may not know this, but I come from a business background. My family had a business when I was growing up, and I studied and graduated from business school. And for some reason, I had locked that information away when I was studying ministry because it was connected to hardship, trauma, and failure. And in my journey, I was not seeing faith and business modeled in the way that resonated with my spirit. So when I started my coaching and consulting business 7 years ago to help people connect with their divine purpose, master their vision, and unlock their true potential as women in business, I encountered a lot of resistance. That is, individuals could either talk to me as a pastor or a minister. They couldn't collate the fact that I understood business as well. It's only years later that I understood that being a business owner, being an entrepreneur is actually a calling, a purpose of mine. Some of you listening to this are getting breakthrough even right now, that you don't have to choose one or the other. You may have started out in corporate and then decided to enter full-time ministry. But guess what? Even in that full-time ministry, you may have been a CFO, you may have been a general manager, you may have been a director, and you left the corporate environment and you decided to start out on your own. And along that faith journey, you embraced your ministry element. Here's what I want to share with you. God is in business. He is so much in business that he desires that you do not forget the riches and the talents that you used in the corporate environment. Listen, you were the go-to person in the corporate environment. Why are you no longer the go-to person right now for that field or industry that you studied? It's okay to have multiple passions. It's okay to have multiple gifts. It's okay to have multiple callings. What happens is our purpose gets refined over time within each season. Along the way, I've had to figure out what it looks like to have a message, what it looks like to have a personal brand, what it looks like to be a strategic leader in my space. And so if you're listening to this, you may have those questions too. You may be in the corporate environment trying to figure out how to leave your current job and go into the entrepreneurial space. You may be already in the entrepreneurial space, but just starting out and trying to figure out how to navigate between your calling, your purpose, your passion, your vision, your dreams. Or you may be a seasoned entrepreneur who's trying to figure out how to elevate yourself, but you feel like your message is not heard, or you feel like you're not being paid for your value. If there's anything I've learned and understood over 3 decades of walking by faith, as well as having a passion for business, is that seeing firsthand how your value is undervalued when you allow others to undervalue you. I remember when I released my third book and I had written it, published it, did all of the work in the process to publish that book. But I remember grappling with the price because I was around individuals and around at that time an environment where if I launched a book that was over $20, I got kickback. I got a lot of people saying that's not going to sell, that's not going to sell. But I remember because I had done the work, because I had attended a conference, a boot camp actually, that was done by a professional billionaire who made me realize that this is my brand, this is who I am, and I can charge for what I believe it's worth. I raised the price to $22. So my first book started out at $15.99. The second one, I just made it cheap, just for the sake of making it cheap. For no other reason, it's about $9 or something. And this third book I released at $22.99. $22.99 is not a lot of money, but I was dealing with mindsets at the time because I believe the book was valued at that price. And so part of embracing your personal brand, part of understanding your journey, part of trying to figure out your own message is knowing that you will face resistance. The resistance will come from your own mindset. The resistance will come from your surroundings. The resistance will come because you have not elevated yourself. You believe you're worth that money. Within your potential is great riches. Within your potential is great wealth. Within your potential is true success. Somehow when we don't see it modeled, we undervalue who we are. We undervalue our self-worth. Some of the incredible women that I've coached who are in the corporate environment have a hard time as female leaders accepting that they are worth the salary that they deserve. So they settle for a salary that's less than because the job or the position itself is great. I was there. I've been there. I've been there where I was at the same level with my male counterparts, but they were earning way more. I didn't know or have the language at the time to believe in my worth that they paid me the salary that I believed. Now that I'm an entrepreneur, this is what I can share with you. You will be paid according to your worth. If you believe you're worth less, your clients will pay you less. You've got to shift your mindset to believe that you are worth being paid the value that you are. The hard work that you put night in, night out deserves the price that you put for your conferences, for your events, for your speaking engagements, for your physical products, for your coaching programs, for your digital products. All of those elements combined equal the worth that you deserve. So, incredible business owner, incredible woman of faith, stop undermining your value. Stop underselling your products. Stop undervaluing your self-worth. You deserve to earn the product and the money that you see. You deserve to be in this space, to be the go-to experts, and to be the first in your family to be a millionaire. You deserve to be the first in your family to set the bar for what it looks like to succeed financially. Embrace that. Don't shy away from that. Embrace that. Don't be ashamed of owning that truth. Embrace it. My mission is to see Black women like us, African women leaders, women in business, make lots of money from their message. I want to see many women experts and women of faith monetize their expertise so much until they're rich enough to transform culture. It's in God's nature to see you succeed where you are. Poverty and scarcity is not in the kingdom. This lifestyle of living from hand to mouth is not of the kingdom. We have to shift our mindset to see progress to the degree that it's released from the heavens. Start declaring something different about your business today. Start believing something different about your future clients, your products, your sales, your value. Your hard work and sleepless nights in building your brand and products is not something to be taken lightly. Believe in your self-worth. Believe in your business. Believe in your dreams. Believe in your wealth. Believe in your value. When you're powerful in that way, nothing can stop you. Hey, if you enjoyed listening to this podcast, share it with friends. It will mean so much to me. If you want to be the first to hear about our upcoming podcasts, be sure to sign up at www.slindilebaloy.com and you'll get the free audio training to help you unlock your potential. To learn more about my digital products and how we can work together, also check out my website, www.slindilebaloy.com, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Until next time, friend, bye for now.